We are live from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. There's a sellout crowd, of course, a wild air of anticipation. The undefeated Chicago Bears are in town to meet the Miami Dolphins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford, and we are glad you're with us tonight. We think we have what could be a classic. This is a team, as you look at them, that the late Papa George Bear Hallis would have loved. They're wild. They're a little bit crazy in certain positions. They do a lot of things. I don't know what he would have thought of the refrigerator, William Perry, but he would like this team, and I'm sure it's what he had in mind when he handpicked Mike Ditka some 5 years ago to take over, the former All-Pro tight end for the Chicago Bears.
Well, when you talk about Chicago, we're talking about a happy team, Joe. These guys enjoy one another. They enjoy their coaches. They can't wait to game day. And normally that spells victory no matter what game you're playing. On offense, they got Walter Payton, and he's doing it all. He's already got just about every career record there is, and he's going after the single-season records now. If he gets 100 yards tonight, that'd be 8 straight games in which he's done that, and that would knock Earl Campbell and your boy right out of the record books. We had 7.
There is Walter Payton. What a fantastic season he is having now in his 11th year. Just amazing. And they opened with Steve Fuller. He started the last 3 games because of the shoulder injury to Jim McMahon. But keep in mind, it was Fuller last year who led the Bears in their final 4 games, led them into the playoffs, a win over the Washington Redskins before they ultimately lost to the San Francisco 49ers, who of course became the Super Bowl champions. The rest of the Bear defensive unit, they have moved Dan Hampton over to defensive left end. He started there now for several weeks, replacing Mike Hartenstein. They did that to get extra pressure against the quarterbacks, who are, of course, predominantly right-handed in the National Football League. Again, no blitz. Marino, come on back, give me a break, guys. Finally, he gets the receiver downfield, and coming down with it is Mark Duper. takes it in. 33-yard touchdown. They picked up the blitz. Marino was right on target. 8-4, trying to stay with New England and the Jets atop the AFC East. Fuller is back. Galt is wide open. Galt had to come back for that pass by Fuller. We talked about his speed. Had Fuller been a little more on stride with Galt, there would have been no catching this man.
I think they caught the Miami Dolphins a little out of position. Miami Dolphin defense certainly is paying attention to the running attack, and Galt just simply ran right by William Judson. That's that world-class speed we're talking about. It is a slight underthrow, but that ball had to travel 60 yards in the air.
Kind of a reverse to Matt Suey. A strange reverse, an inside handoff, but Suey, who's having a tremendous year, kind of quietly behind Walter Payton's great year. Willie Galt is to the left. That's Suey. Big opening right up the middle. So many times this year, the Bears have opened running Suey rather than Payton. Fuller over the top, touchdown Chicago. They come roaring right back, answering the touchdown of the Miami Dolphins with 8:21 remaining in the first quarter. Lorenzo Hampton will bring it out of the end zone. Hampton makes it happen to out over the 40-yard line, near the 44-yard line. Stopped there by Sean Gale. 45-yard effort. Offense in for Miami. Tony Nathan. And Nathan gets a Miami first down at the 37-yard line of the Bears. He's 18 of 21 for the year. Yards out, and Reves gets his longest field goal of the season. That's McKinnon, number 85, in motion. Walter Payton's first handle of the night, and he is strong. Payton booms out to the 30-yard line. Paul Langford there to make the stop for the Dolphins. Walter got 6, second down and 4. Payton was out over the 35-yard line. He had the first down before he was drilled back by Mike Charles, that's Willie Galt in motion. Fuller trying to get a screen off to Payton. Picked off. And again, Tipper's flare. Flag is down. Here they come. And down goes Marino. The Dolphins had given up the fewest sacks into the night in the entire league. And that's the 14th that they have given up this season. Reflecting, of course, of the quick arm of Dan Marino. 3rd and 19. Matt Moore. Durison was with him, but Moore turned around. The ball was there. And Marino just did get it off. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Marino in trouble, and down he goes. Otis Wilson, who took up residency in the Dallas Cowboys backfield a couple of weeks ago, gets to Marino. Almost deja vu of the way he got to Danny White a couple of weeks ago when the Bears annihilated the Cowboys 44-0. Nobody even touched it. Cooper inside the 5. It'll be first down, goal to go. Marino again under pressure, but he rifled that one in there. The Bears come into tonight's game leading in those same categories. Touchdown. Davenport inside trap.
7 for 7.
Fuller just does get it off, and he gets it to Emory Moorhead, his tight end, out to the 35-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4. That he picked up 4 weeks ago. Walter Payton. A relatively quiet night for Payton thus far, but he gets the first down out over the 40-yard line. Fuller. Moorhead. Short of the first down, near midfield. Fuller. Moorhead. And Fuller and the tight end Moorhead continue to work. It'll be another Bear first down. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves. A win tonight, and they're tied once again for first place in the AFC East. Walter Payton. Payton doing his special thing to the 26-yard line. He stopped by Judson. A pickup of about 9.
He gets good blocking on the left side of that line, but the only Walter, he can see it all. He gets outside, outruns the pursuit, put a very nice move in here somewhere. That's Walter. There it is. I tell you, he never gets tired.
Second down and 8. Fuller. Galt holds on. He gets inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go. William Judson was trying to cover Galt, but you have to respect his speed. He laid way off. Galt was there. Hugh Green, the right linebacker, was dropping into it, took his eyes off the quarterback, and the pass was complete. Field goal attempt by Kevin Butler of 30 yards. This to shorten the Dolphin lead. And Butler, who's had a tremendous year, the 4th round pick from Georgia, gets it through the uprights. First and 10 Miami, their 21-yard line. Marino, Duper. And covering Duper quickly, Leslie Frazier. Third and long from the shotgun. Marino, Duper. No flags. Cleveland Green is still hurt. Third down and 7. Marino, Clayton. Clayton dances down inside the 5, inside the 2. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Davenport into the end zone easily. Walter Payton. Payton's first reception of the night. Hugh Green defensively there made the stop. What? Dolphin surging in on the kicker, Buford. Stevenson remains the center even though in pain with the right shoulder injury for the Dolphins. Marino gets the pressure, but he gets it to Nat Moore. Marino has been buffeted about, but he's kept his calm and his cool, and he's firing strikes, and the Bears are in deep trouble. Both outside linebackers come. Fuller can run for the first, which he does. Stopping the clock with 41 seconds remaining in the half. Complete over the middle to Moorhead on 2nd and 10, and Moorhead will get 5. They've had great field position on their drives all night. Marino picked off. Leslie Frazier. So things work well for the Bears defense here on the opening offensive play for the Dolphins. Frazier with the interception. That's Payton in motion. Fuller, Payton, first down. Inside the 35, down around the 31-yard line. Strange little play, but effective. 12-yard pickup. First and 10, the Bears. 32-yard line of the Dolphins. Payton. That's what Payton does, even when he's hit at the line of scrimmage. He's to the 25. 3rd and 4 for the Bears. McMahon trying to go to Walter Payton. Yes. By Glenn Blackwood is inbounds. 3rd down and 10. Nat Moore joins Mark Duper and Mark Clayton as a 3rd wide receiver for Miami. Low snap. Marino pulls it up. It fires a strike to Clayton. He drops the football. Richard Dent has it. And Dent back to the 15-yard line. Clayton came down with the reception. It was a great effort by Marino to get it to him.
But when he makes the tackle, watch how he strikes the ball. He knocks the ball loose. A nice defensive play by Mike Richardson.
And you got to wonder about this Chicago defense, why it confuses people. Look at Richard Dent. He's a defensive end. He weighs 260-something pounds. What is he doing that far downfield on a pass play? Obviously, the right thing.
And they have a first down. They are at Miami's 27-yard line. Walter Payton. And Payton just burst down at the 15-yard line. A Bear first down.
This is Walter. All he's doing is his offensive line is not allowing any penetration. They're staying on their man. And Walter is just picking his way. This is something that he's done for over 13,000 yards.
Like a bad fire drill out there on the part of the Dolphins. And Fuller gets it to the tight end. That is Tim Reitman. A draft pick 3 years ago for the Bears, who served 2 years in the USFL. But he gets the Bears a first down inside the 1-yard line. The Dolphins defense that got in there so late, they had not settled in. Fuller came with a quick count, and he found Reitman right over the middle and wide open. Bud Brown held on. William Perry, the refrigerator, is in. And if he does his thing, as we saw him do against Green Bay, he'll be leading Walter Payton. Earlier tonight, they went with the quarterback sneak with the fridge in there. They try it again. And it works. Over the top goes Steve Fuller. And the Bears turn a Clayton turnover into a touchdown. Duper, Moore, and Clayton. Out of the way. Into the arms of Clayton. Oh, and are things going right for the Dolphins tonight? And Gentry will take it from the 1. Gentry has something happening. Fine return by Gentry. Inside Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Really fine running by Gentry. We saw a 16-yard touchdown run by Gentry against Dallas. Now, when Walter Payton's running the football, you don't think much about the other backs.
Well, what happened there was the left side of the the kickoff coverage by the Dolphins sort of folded in because the ball was kicked to their right, and normally a team will come up that side of the field, and Gentry was able to get the ball on this end of the field and outrun most of the pursuit.
Payton works for about 6 yards inside the 25-yard line. And Mike Charles, the nose tackle, is relatively young at that position defensively for Miami. First and 10. Fuller, a lot of time. That's Marjoram. Ken Marjoram, the former Stanford All-American, his 12th reception of the season. Missed all of last year with knee surgery. He brings the Bears back into it.
Hey, Marjoram actually had double coverage on him over there. He broke underneath the Blackwood right here, and I'm sure Blackwood's kicking himself in a, well, you know where right now. He should have been on that coverage.
Marino is up to 250 yards. He has 3 touchdowns from the end zone. Clayton got away from Richardson, but then he was pounded by Wilburn Marshall. The first down for the Dolphins at the 24-yard line. Tony Nathan breaks it off the right side to the 38-yard line. First down, Dolphins. Well, I was working on the clock, Coach. Netmore is wide open, and Netmore gets Mark Clayton off the snide. Marino goes down, and the ball is loose. The Bears, do they cover it? Steve Clark looked as if he dug it out of one of the Bears who tried to pick it up. Marino is really smacked as we look with the reverse angle where you can see it so much better. It's coming right around the horn is Dent. Powders into Marino, the ball is loose, and here comes Wachter. Now, he could have fallen on that.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. Geisler slides underneath, gets the recovery, and things are going the Dolphins' way tonight. Fuller on a bit of a sprint out. Drills it in. It's the completion. It's Gentry out of the backfield. And Gentry has first down yardage. Fuller is leaving the game. McMahon puts the helmet on the sidelines. McMahon has a 2nd and 15. Suey. Good running by Suey. Out over the 40. Close to the 43. Little fake to Payton, and then handing it back inside to Suey.
As you can see, they're pulling their guard. He does an excellent job. Jim Colbert, big tackle, I should say, pulled around there, made a nice block. And Suey does what he does best, is get upfield.
McMahon on a sprint out. Mike Ditka, I'm sure, was holding his breath on the sideline. Marjoram is in there for McKinnon, top of your screen. Wide open. Marjoram. George Little. Illegal use of hands. And look at Marjoram spinning and twisting Don McNeil. That's where he is really talented. Marjoram to the 17. And there are quarterbacks who bring magic to a football team. We got a 4th down and 34. I believe in the defense, but not this much. Judson brings it out as well he should. The interception in the end zone, which was ill-advised, would have given the Dolphins the ball at the 20. All he had to do was knock it down to get it at the 40. Nathan. And there is a veteran move. Nathan does not go out of bounds, gets the first down. He could have got a couple of more yards out of it, but he did not want to stop that clock, which continues to move down towards the 5 minutes remaining. First to 10, the Bears. Inside their own 35-yard line. 2:27 remaining. This is Walter Payton. There's 8 of them.
Yeah, guess what?
2nd down and 2.
I think it's on Ditka's mind also.
2-minute warning coming up. Payton. Payton to the 47-yard line. Gets the first down and about 4. Wilder. First down, McMahon is back. Marjoram went to his knees, was able to get up and get the completion. Just a little short, I believe, of the first down. Payton. Oh. What a move Walter Payton put on Mac Moore. Ball is loose. Dolphins say they have it. Payton has turned it over twice.
This is because he works so hard. And you saw him make a great move back there, and I think he gets the yardage to the spot of the fumble.
And ours is unofficially at 98 yards. Payton, first down. There it is.
Another one bites the dust.
They all do, O.J.
Yeah, but we all know Walter Payton would gladly exchange that record for a victory tonight, which he's not going to get.
Bears will not go undefeated, but they have put life and a spark into football in general and Chicago in particular. Payton out over the 40-yard line, dropped by Lyle Blackwood. What a victory for the Dolphins. As Dolphin players congratulate Walter Payton. And Dan Marino reigns supreme once again. Payton on the night will wind up with 121 yards.
In 1972, the Miami Dolphins became the first and only team in NFL history to go through an entire season unbeaten. The strength of Don Shula's team was in its balance rather than its brilliance, though there were performers of superstar quality on the roster. Basically, Miami ran a conservative, straight-ahead offense that featured number 39 fullback Larry Zonka. It was grinding, steady, mistake-proof football. On defense as well, Miami allowed its opponents no margin for error. Before the coming of Don Shula, the Dolphins' biggest name was Flipper, who frolicked in a tank in the east end zone of the half-empty Orange Bowl. The fans who were there enjoyed the sun more than the outcome of Dolphin games. But Shula soon changed sunbathers into flag wavers, as Miami earned instant success under his command. In 1970, Shula's first season as coach, a team that had won only 3 games the year before, won 10 and made the playoffs. In his second season, Miami won 12 and reached the Super Bowl. In 1972, Shula's third year, the Dolphins were literally unstoppable, winning 17 straight, including Super Bowl 7. Brainy Bob Greasy was the Dolphins' leader on the field. He quarterbacked an offense that broke a 36-year-old record to become the greatest running team in NFL history. Behind an offensive line that was simply awesome, Miami became the first to have 2,000-yard runners on the same squad. The inside man was Zonka, the prototype of the bruising fullback. He was perfectly complemented by the outside moves and speed of number 22, Mercury Marks. An irony of this perfect season was that Bob Greasy was lost in the 5th game with a broken leg. But ageless veteran Earl Morrow replaced him, and in one of the great relief roles in sports history, the offense never missed a beat. Miami's famous no-name defense also came to the rescue, performing brilliantly and often putting points on the scoreboard themselves. In Super Bowl 7, only the Washington Redskins stood between Miami and football immortality. The Dolphins defeated the Redskins and ended the year with 17 wins and no defeats. For one season, no team was ever better than Don Shula's 1972 Miami Dolphins.
Tight end Dan Johnson's touchdown keyed the Dolphins' victory in Buffalo a week later. 2 straight victories stoked the fires for the main attraction of the season, a Monday night showdown in the Orange Bowl with the only undefeated team in pro football. Dolphin pride was on the line as Miami sought to protect its place in NFL history as the only team to produce a perfect season. Strategy was set. Forces were mobilized. The battle had begun. The Dolphins approached the vaunted Bears defense with a posture of defiance. Marino, a pocket passer, didn't rely on conventional tactics. He rolled away from the pressure and bombarded the opposition. This was the Dolphins' most complete game of the season. Offense, defense, and special teams operated at peak efficiency. Miami trapped Bear quarterbacks a season-high 6 times, with Mike Charles, the team sack leader, spearheading the attack. William Judson and Glenn Blackwood, Miami's interception leader, produced key steals. To top it all off, Miami got the bounces too.
From the 42. Here's the snap. Back he goes to throw. Under pressure. Ball is deflected in the air. Wait, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Miami. They're lucky and good.
With a 38-24 victory, the Dolphins became the only team to beat the eventual world champions in 1985. Against the Bears, and throughout the season, much of the Dolphins' success was a reflection of their quarterback. Miami's fight-to-the-finish philosophy was embodied in a streetwise, tough kid from Pittsburgh, a player who combined equal parts talent and tenacity. No one in pro football threw for more completions, yards, and touchdowns. Dan Marino was a speed reader of defenses who possessed the cool confidence to throw from anywhere to anywhere.
The thing that makes him as good as he is, he has that uncanny ability to feel pressure and know when to get rid of the ball. He doesn't have to see where the linemen are coming from. He feels where they're coming from. And so just about the time you think you're going to get to him, he lets the ball go. And therefore, he defeats strong rush because of that ability. And I think that's the greatest ability he has.
His perception of whether a man is open or not may be a lot different than anybody else's. His idea about what it takes to get the ball to a receiver is obviously a lot different. He's going to throw the ball into some spots that I might not ask a quarterback to do for me. He knows his players, and he knows where they're going to be, and he knows how to get the ball to them, and he's always done it better than anybody else in the history of football.
Last year was a year where Marino had to adapt. We figured that teams would try to take away the long ball from us, and they did. They sat back and played the deep zones and gave us the underneath passing. Marino had to have the patience that's necessary to throw the ball underneath and complete it to the receiver, and then have the receiver break a tackle and make the big gain.
Marino's patience paid off as he threw 5 touchdowns against Green Bay. His progress was impressive in terms of the 10-yard flip rather than the 70-yard bomb.
Marino, quick drop. Throws across the middle. It is caught at the 10-yard line. Down to the 5. This is a touchdown for Mark Clayton. Marino drilled it right in the numbers.
This season, Marino overcame the impatience of youth. The Mad Bomber of 1984 became Dissecting Dan of 85. No matter what he's labeled, Dan Marino remains #1 in the hearts of Dolphins.
In Super Bowl VII, the 1972 Miami Dolphins collided headfirst with destiny, defeating the Washington Redskins to secure the first and only undefeated season in NFL history. Ironically, Miami's greatest victory came nearly a year to the day following its greatest defeat. In Super Bowl VI, the Dallas Cowboys humiliated the inexperienced Dolphins, dominating Miami 24-3 in a game that left an indelible impression on the Dolphins' young team.
We were so excited to be there in the Super Bowl, I think we forgot about the game. We weren't focused enough.
We took a great lesson from that. Everybody to a man dedicated himself not only to get back to a Super Bowl, but to win it.
The next year, Miami returned to training camp more mature and determined to make amends for the Dallas debacle.
We had to play like the only redemption that could be possible would be to go back and relive the opportunity to redeem ourselves in the last game that you play of the year.
The Dolphins did not seek perfection. Nevertheless, their style of play yielded that result. Led by an offense that finished first in the NFL in total points scored, Miami performed each week with an intense sense of commitment to reaching team goals.
We were so focused and so intent on proving that we were better than the year before that we got a little icing on the cake, which represents 17-0.
How you doing, Earl? Nice to meet you, man. Desmond Clark.
Yeah,
Desmond.
The 72 Dolphins remain a close-knit group, one no longer tied together by the need to prove itself, but rather by the desire to reunite regularly to celebrate its achievement.
Well, you know, we are a unique team that had that tremendous accomplishment, and I think that that's brought us closer together. This team is really bonded together, and the fact that we get resurrected every year when somebody goes 6-0 or 7-0, they talk about the 72 Dolphins.
Often such discussions fail to properly recognize a defense that complemented its offense by being ranked first in the league. Despite their impressive credentials, the 1972 Miami Dolphins are not usually mentioned near the top in any list of the NFL's greatest teams.
When people from Pittsburgh or San Francisco or Green Bay or Chicago talk about how their team was better than the 72 Dolphins, I kind of get a kick out of it. It doesn't really piss me off. It kind of pleases me that they're the ones that are placing the argument on the table. That means they feel a need to argue.
In a league now governed by parity, there is little debate concerning the improbability of anyone duplicating Miami's accomplishment. The perfect season is not likely to happen again anytime soon. But it is a guarantee that the members of the 72 Dolphins will continue to gather each year for a commemorative toast to honor their season.
We're proud of that record. You know, and the toast is really toasting the fact that the record is still a record for another year.
The longer it goes, the more special it becomes. We want to keep it ours. I'd like to get it through at least the first 100 years of the NFL. Then, you know, think about letting somebody else do it.
In 1985, the Chicago Bears became a cult phenomenon that had crazed fans all over America singing the same tune.
Yeah, man! Should we give them the finger? Yeah, man! We're number one, we're number one, we're number one.
I think we captured the imagination of this city, Chicago, in a big way, but we captured the imagination of a lot of people in a lot of other cities because these were just a bunch of guys having fun. They were having fun playing football.
The Bears' fun came at their opponent's expense, steamrolling offenses and rendering them useless. In one midseason stretch, Chicago went on a roll, outscoring 3 opponents by a combined 104-3 margin. The most anticipated game in Monday Night Football history would feature these 12-0 Bears attempting to create their own legacy, and Miami trying to preserve the legacy of the NFL's only unbeaten team.
They were undefeated, and they had a chance of breaking the Dolphins' record. And it was Monday Night Football and the hype, the Orange Bowl, which is a great place to play.
You could just feel the electricity in the stands. The people were there early, and you could feel the buzz, the excitement. And our players knew the importance of the ball game because Chicago was very, very good, and we knew that if we didn't do it, somebody else might not do it.
Don Shula coached the '72 Dolphins to football's only perfect season and would now have to lead his '85 team to preserve that distinction. With members of the '72 Dolphins present, Miami did its best imitation of the no-name defense, frustrating and battering the Bears. The Dolphins' confidence on defense carried over to an offense that executed an almost flawless game plan.
We were the only offense that matched up well enough that we could negate the famed 46 defense.
Everybody else that had played the Bears would bring everybody in tight to try to stop the blitz. So we decided to spread everybody out. And we'd take an extra wide receiver, put him into the ball game, our slot receiver.
We were running quick ins, quick outs, and after we get the ball to Clayton, he's going to run 30 yards.
Marino torched the Bears secondary for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns by employing a strategy that attacked Chicago's blitzing defense with a 3-receiver set.
The game plan was max protect and let those guys outside do their thing.
Marino always would recognize where the free blitzer would be coming from, and that Moore would break his route off, knowing that Dan wouldn't have a lot of time. Fensick or Plank would have to make the tackle on that Moore in an open field, and that game plan worked to perfection.
10, 5, touchdown Dolphins. Oh, what a play!
I thought that Don and his staff did probably as good a coaching job against a great football team defensively that you could have done. You know, they rolled out of the pocket, which wasn't Marino's strength, but he did it awfully well.
On a night where the destinies of 2 teams collided, one play was emblematic of the game and its eventual outcome.
There was one play in particular that went for a touchdown where the ball bounced off or skidded off Dan Hampton's helmet. And Mike Richardson made a nice break on the ball. It went over his head. You know, it went for a touchdown.
Ball is deflected in the air. Caught by Clayton. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Miami.
And we were walking off the field, and Dan and I just looked at one another, and you go, it's not going to happen tonight.
Looking back, it was great that we were able to do that. Now you look back on your career and special games and what that game meant. It's even more gratifying.
The Bears went on to the Super Bowl and dominated in the Super Bowl. And that made you realize the importance of that one win because nobody else was going to be able to do it.
We are live from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. There's a wild air of anticipation.
I was at the Orange Bowl when the Bears came to play the Dolphins, and they were undefeated.
There have been 3 undefeated teams. The last to be undefeated were the '72 Dolphins. Miami would like to see their record stay intact.
I mean, that was the whole thing, was they're coming on our turf, and they're trying to break our record.
Coach Shula, he didn't talk about it at all. He didn't talk about, you know, winning the game for the history of the Dolphins or any of that. But as a player, you could feel it. Zonka and all the guys were out there, and you could feel the fact that it meant something to everybody.
Well, Miami's going to have to play the best game they've played this season. And if either team has an emotional edge tonight, it's the Miami Dolphins.
That was the best defense I ever played against. With the way their pass rush was, I was just trying to get out of there alive.
Marino has been buffing it about, but he's kept his calm and his cool. Snap Moore to 30, 25, back to the middle, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Dolphins.
It was interesting because Buddy Ryan had a very aggressive blitzing style, and we really matched up well against them because the way we got the ball out quick, it was very successful.
Into the arms of Clayton. Oh, and are things going right for the Dolphins tonight? What a victory for the Dolphins. And Dan Marino reigns supreme once again.